Hi, this is Penny McLean with FlickDirect, about to interview the wonderful Micael Peña of End to Watch. Micael, from this experience, from the journey of this movie, from the beginning to the end, I was just on a ride, strapped in with my seatbelt, that first scene with the car chase. Tell me, what brought you to this film? What drew you?
The first thing that drew me was the script. The script was just amazing, and it's the guy that wrote Training Day, you know, and he wrote, you know, Fast and the Furious and U-571 and like all these really great movies. Yeah, I mean, Harsh Times was great as well.
Yeah.
I saw the movie and I couldn't believe the dialogue and the stuff that he made those guys do. I was like, wow, really cool. And then so when I read it, I was like, whoa, man, I didn't know what to think of it because I haven't read a script like this in a while. Like, it does follow the 3-act structure, but it's like, it was a character piece, you know? And I was like, wait a minute, is this an action movie though? It was an action movie, but it was also a character piece. And then when I met, I had to do a read with him and you know, the director and Jake. I was like, wow, this could work. This could be really cool. So that's you know, after that we had like 5 months of rehearsals and training, you know, to be a police officer, like weapons training and, you know, mixed martial arts and you know, like rehearsing as well. And then I spent a lot of time with Natalie Martinez, that plays my wife, so that it could look like a real marriage, you know, as opposed to like, oh, I just met you now, let's do something. And it was a hard one. It was definitely hard, you know, a lot of work, but I think it paid off. Hopefully it did.
I saw that you were doing boxing. You were definitely a defenseman. It looks like you did some kickboxing.
Yeah.
And then tell me about all the, what's your favorite that you trained for?
Well, I gotta admit, I'm like, I got hurt a couple times like doing the boxing, because when you're sparring with somebody, even if you start off trying to be light, at the end of the day, like if they get one good shot in, and sometimes you're just trying to be fast to try to get in, and you get hit, and then you get mad, and then you have to hit back. And then then you have 2.5 minutes left, and you're like, oh man, this is gonna be bad. And a couple times it was, you know, it was pretty rowdy. Jake kicked me in the legs. I mean, in the leg, the left leg one time, really, really hard. He got a really good kick in, and I think I felt it for 2 months.
Oh.
And then I started blocking it with my shin, which is like, you know, if you have to block a kick with your shin, I'd rather have the pain in my shin than my leg. That's kind of a telling story, but. First week of shooting, you know, I had a fight scene and it got my nose busted, and I was like, wow, okay, this is kind of movie we're doing. It's about as real as you can get.
Did you feel like a real cop once you put the uniform on after your training?
I felt like I had the essence of the cop because of the way they talk to each other, you know, the way they josh with each other and, you know, give each other crap, so to speak, and you know, I just put in so much work that by the like the 3rd month, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to shoot. Let's go, guys. They're like, oh, we got 2 more months of this. Okay, good. So I felt like I was ready, and I'm like, I haven't felt like that too many times in my career. I could think of maybe 3 or 4 times in like the last 17 years that I felt that like I'm really ready to do a role.
Well, I love the bond between you and Jake's characters. You were like brothers besides co-workers, and did it take a lot off camera to bond? Like, did you get to know each other as friends, then became like brothers on this scene? It
was weird. I think we forced it a bit in the beginning because we didn't get along. Because I think it's you know, we tried to, but it's like it just wasn't working, and it's like, what is going on? And there's pressure that comes with a movie. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen. And you're like, can you do this? And I think it's the hardest to play like a brother or like a young married couple. I think that's the hardest, to have like a real relationship and a real friendship, you know. But after the first 2 months, we started getting to the rhythm. We started opening up, like, and for me, it's not the easiest to be like, hey man, blah blah blah. This, you know, like, I'm not that guy. I was like pretty much quiet guy like for most of my life, you know. So it's like, it was kind of tough, but I felt like I learned a bunch in this movie.
I feel that from your character with being married and you're expecting a newborn, and how you were giving like advice to a newcomer for Jake and a new relationship, you sounded so comfortable in that role. And when you were portraying with your wife, how was it playing like a high school love married cop, and this poor wife was, you know, by herself pregnant, and
yeah,
how did you prepare for that?
It's so weird, but like it's one of those things that, you know, when a script comes and then you're like ready to play this, and it just falls on your lap at the most perfect time in your life, which I don't have any science to it, but like my kid was at 2 years old at the time, and I was seeing him, and I didn't know that you could love somebody as much, and I used a lot of that kind of love for my wife and my baby to be, and there's no, I don't know, I think it opened me up too as a person so that I could play this kind of role, because I don't necessarily know if I could have done it 4 years ago. So it's like the stars aligned, and for this kind of thing.
I think it was wonderful. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best.
All right,
thank you
so much.